I just want to be home playing Resident Evil 9. Requiem.
It's pretty good.
I'm enjoying it, yeah. I find it... I've been seeing a couple memes. I saw a couple memes before I bought it as well. But, of the, it's like Grace's experience, and it's like The Shining, Shelley Long, Shelley Duvall yelling, you know, like Jack, and then the other, and then it cuts, and it's like Leon's experience or perspective, and it's like, cool guy.
It's pretty creepy. I mean, how much farther have you gotten?
What's the last thing that you saw me play? Was that the wave? Was Leon?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that big baby thing.
Did I? Oh yeah, but you saw me fight that wave like after the helicopter crash. Yeah, you saw me use the sniper.
Yes.
I don't think I've done much more than that. I think I found. Yeah, because I'm around that spot. Yeah. I think I'm getting ready to go into the next area type thing.
Okay.
But there's not been like an actual like big boss yet.
No.
Not really, no. I mean, the closest things have been those waves with Leon and the big baby. Or Chunk. I think it's called Chunk is his name. Like that was definitely like a boss fight thing with Leon. But that's what it is. Like the more challenging aspects like that are more with Leon. And then the other stuff with Grace is more like the solve the puzzle.
Yep. I'm not a big scary game person, but it's pretty good. Highly recommend. It's fun. It was one of those games that was fun to just sit and watch someone play it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you ready to do this?
Yeah, this is Tommy.
This is Jake.
This is
Tom and Jacob's mixtape. Starry, starry nights. God, that song was awful.
Oh, yeah. Well, welcome back to Teacher's Mixtape. I'm Tommy. That's Jacob. We're a movie review podcast. We talk about movies, who's in them, how they're made, go over some themes, and then give it a rating. The rating is arbitrary, but it's a nice way to put a pin in it. Before we do that, we will play a game at the beginning of each episode. We have previously randomly generated 2 stars, and we connect them via co-stars and other films they were in. Seemed to be some confusion.
I thought it was Allison Brie because I asked Allison Brie and you said yes, so I wrote down Allison
Roll
Brie.
the tape.
I mean,
because I wrote down Brie Larson.
I mean, sure. Okay. Yes, you wrote that down. I mean, we could go back and listen. I asked Allison Brie and you said yes.
The connection was Brie Larson to Kevin Hart.
Yes.
So I got Brie Larson is in The Gambler with Mark Wahlberg, and then Mark Wahlberg is in Me Time with Kevin Hart.
Me Time?
Yeah, it's like a buddy comedy. They were like college friends or something like that.
Okay.
I remember watching it. I think it was kind of funny.
Has Kevin Hart ever done anything that's not comedy, like some type of level of comedy?
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's so. This one just. I was just kind of having fun. Brie Larson is in Trainwreck, the Amy Schumer led film. She plays sister. Trainwreck with John Cena. John Cena's in Jackpot with Awkwafina. Awkwafina's in Jumanji: The Next Level with.
Oh yeah, she is in that.
With Kevin Hart.
I forgot she was in the sequel. Right?
Yeah, she's the Danny DeVito.
Yeah. Body double or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So there we go. We'll have another one at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Maybe we won't get confused who it is.
My God, he painted so many sunflowers.
He's probably painted the same sunflower over and over and over again.
Woman in front of Van Gogh sunflowers.
I mean, like they said in it, you know, he was like, you know, trading like a 9-to-5 job type thing. So he was just painting. Today, we are doing a block. Well, we're starting a block of recommendation. We reached out to our good friend, Dahveed Bullis. Hello, Dahveed.
Hello.
If you heard at the end of the last episode, we kind of talked about it. Asked for him to curate, 2 movies, a block for us to do. And so he chose these 2 movies that we've never heard of. We think it's definitely just going to be an artist painter. Like the focus is like the main character is going to be painter, painter artist. So today we're starting with Loving Vincent, which is the very first animated film to be animated with nothing but oil painting. So it's like shot with like rotoscopes type stuff.
And for those that don't know, a young man learns about Vincent van Gogh's life from those closest to him a year after his death.
Yes. A year. Was it really a year?
It was like the course of a year.
Over the course of a year?
Over the course of a year. That's probably the better way to put that.
Interesting. Yeah. I knew it was going to be about Vincent van Gogh. Didn't know exactly what, but that's where we got. So it was originally released June 12th in 2017 at some animation French festival. And then it got a theatrical release United States September 22nd of 2017, same year. Box office wise, it was 137 worldwide, 139 domestically. We haven't done this in a minute. How many movies did you have for 2017?
44.
44, Jesus. I had 28. Yeah, so this movie took 6 years to make. They had like 140 or 100, over 100 artists. Like
120 or something. Yeah, 100 plus people.
And they wanted like a specific kind of like artist, not like an expressionist. Like I did say at the beginning of the Wikipedia article that they wanted like
a total of 125 from over 20 different countries.
Yeah,
all went to Poland to work on the project.
Yeah. So what they would do is they film the scenes and then they would have people paint, like they would film the scenes on a green screen, and then they would have the artists paint in over them and create the character and the imagery around, because a lot of this is, I mean, it's oil painting in the style of what Van Gogh was painting, the very thick brush strokes type thing, but also they did a lot of recreating his imagery and like his like scenic like paintings that he had done.
Yes.
I mean, there was, I didn't recognize every single one of them because obviously I haven't seen every single Van Gogh painting, but I did. It was really cool to like be like, oh yeah, this painting. I haven't seen this in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the very beginning at the cafe when they're all like slumped over, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, not very familiar with his work, to be honest. I mean, if someone's like, oh, that's a Van Gogh, I'm like, yeah, sure, I see that, but I couldn't name.
Oh, I couldn't name them. They're also
I have Starry Night socks.
I mean, Starry Night is like his most iconic, obviously, but then everything else, like it's like woman in front of sunflower. They're not like,
yeah,
it's not. It's something,
I mean, I went to the Van Gogh experience when it was in Seattle, and that was cool because that was just the whole interactive aspect of it.
Yeah,
but.
And I guess for those who don't know the history of Vincent van Gogh, and I know we're not pronouncing it correctly technically, it's Van Gogh or whatever. I don't care.
That's so American of you.
I don't care. It's Van Gogh right now. He was only painted for like 6 years of his life. Like he started really late he
was like 28 when he started painting, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And just became obsessed with it and traveled around, went to Paris, went to France, and, pretty much learned by watching people and learned by interpreting people's other, their stuff and whatnot. What was it? It's like over 400 paintings he did in his lifetime.
I think it's more than that.
Was it? Is around 800? It's an absurd number for how short a period of time. But the big thing is that so he took his life.
Yes.
Quote unquote. Well, you don't know. That's what this movie is about.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is well known that he was mentally unstable.
In just over a decade, he created approximately 2,100 artworks, including around 860 oil paintings, most of them in the last 2 years of his life.
860 oil
Most of them in the last 2 years of his life. That's crazy.
That's insane. That's so crazy. His paintings were not considered worth anything while he was alive. It wasn't until
posthumously.
Posthumously, I can't pronounce that word very well. After he passed away, that his paintings gained any recognition, and then was kind of like dubbed one of the like forefathers of modern art as we know it today.
Yes.
So, in painting wise, so unfortunate for him that he didn't get to see that. Although there is a very fun episode of Doctor Who that they go to around this time before he takes his life, or what happens, and Doctor Who, and I think it's a Rose episode. I don't know. It's David Tennant. I remember that. Or maybe it wasn't. Anywho, Doctor Who goes, meets Vincent van Gogh. They have hijinks, shenanigans. He saves Vincent van Gogh's life. And then he decides to take Van Gogh to the future to show the Van Gogh exhibit to Van Gogh. So he understands that he will be remembered forever. It's a very weird, it's like, well, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, that's weird.
Fucking with the timeline, Doc. But yeah, let's get into writer-director of the movie and what. Oh yeah, we didn't even kind of do it. Did you like it?
Not really, no. I thought it was very, obviously visually, very interesting, but story-wise, I didn't think it was very interesting. I don't know. Like,
I agree. I actually 100% agree with that.
Like, this is going to be a weird correlation, but it's kind of like when, like, remember that period at some point in the 2000s where they just kept making, like, Black Dahlia murder movies?
I just remember the Black Dahlia murder.
But it's like the Black Dahlia and the Zodiac, and, you know, they just kind of do they were doing these things where there was, like, kind of, like, going off on wild, just kind of, what if, you know, like, kind of storylines.
I see what you're talking about.
And I don't know. I just didn't find it very interesting story-wise. That was pretty, but...
I mean, yeah, but I mean, story-wise, it was just kind of like, here's what could have happened. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. So yeah, it's written and directed by Dorota Kobiela, also known as D.K. Welchman, who's married to Hugh Welchman, the other writer-director of this. They have also done, more recently now, another movie called The Peasants. It's a Polish movie in the same...
Yeah, I was looking at that one.
And they did the painting thing again, just not with the oil painting like what with Van Gogh was. And Dorota she is an artist and filmmaker and like painter and stuff. They did a short, not a lot of stuff. They seem to be just kind of, they're experimental artists. Although Hugh Welchman did start the production company that did this film.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of it? Do you have it right there?
No.
Okay. And then we have our third writer, who I believe just has writing credits, just helped him write it, I'm assuming, Jacek Dehenel, who's also a Polish poet and painter and artist in general. Didn't really have anything else on his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just looked at a painter, poet, just a general artiste.
Exactly.
It seems.
So this is very much like an artist's love letter to art.
A very specific person.
Yeah.
Art. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very much, yeah. And I will say, actually, I liked the name of the movie being Loving Vincent. It's a Loving Vincent, right? Not just Love Vincent. Yeah, Loving Vincent. Because as a callback to like the way that how he signed his letters, and with a handshake, Loving Vincent.
Yeah, but it also has like kind of a double meaning too, because it's a lot about the people loving him.
Exactly.
Or hating him.
Yeah, right. A very interesting starring cast in this.
Kind of crazy.
It's a little all over the place. Only like 2-3 people that are really, really recognizable for me. Well, I mean, I feel like, okay, so we have our main character who this goes through, who's supposed to be delivering a letter to Vincent's brother, and then it turns out he can't because he's also passed and all this stuff. But Douglas Booth plays Armand Roulin, who is in a bunch of movies that I just haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've never seen Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
I really want to.
I've never seen Jupiter Ascending.
Really don't want to.
Never seen LOL with Miley Cyrus and Demi Moore.
I think I might have seen that.
I have seen a bit of The Dirt, where he plays Nicky Sixx. It's the Motley Crue biopic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's actually been in a good amount of stuff. I just haven't really seen it. And then I got next up Jerome Flynn, who plays Dr. Gachet, who really I only recognize from Game of Thrones.
I love his face.
Yeah?
I really do. I think he has such an interesting face.
Okay.
I've always thought that.
It was interesting to see him with like very bright red hair.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of like, maybe got a little bit of red in his hair, but like he's like more of a light brunette, I feel. I don't know.
Well, that was the whole third brother thing, I think.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm. I got Robert Gulaczyk. Gulaczyk. I want to say he's Polish.
I really should have looked at.
He's
the pronunciation
Polish.
Of these.
Polish names are fucking hard to pronounce. No matter how many times I even look it up, I'm like, what?
He played Vincent. Did Willem Dafoe play Vincent van Gogh once?
I don't know.
I feel like he did.
Yeah, he plays Vincent. Which Vincent's not really a lot in this.
No, because
he's dead.
Dead.
I got Eleanor Tomlinson next, who plays Adeline, the house. She ran the inn that he stayed at. She looked super familiar, but when I looked her up, I was like, I don't know. I was like, okay, she's in Jack the Giant Slayer, a movie I've never seen, but I know seen the name.
Like, she's the young. Who's in The Illusionist? Who's the girl?
Paul Giamatti?
No, the girl.
Jessica Biel?
Yeah, she's, I think, the young Jessica Biel.
Oh, is she? That's who she is in it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like I saw The Illusionist, and I was like, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't really remember The Illusionist.
Movie's kind of cool. It's worth a rewatch.
I mean, because like I remember The Prestige really well.
Yeah, but like Illusionist is a little more chill, like a little more laid back.
Hey, that's another Nolan. Yeah.
Still interesting.
Yeah, fair.
But it's not like. Calm down.
Biggest surprise for this was both was like, oh wow, Saoirse Ronan is in it. The same year that Lady Bird came out.
Yeah.
So.
And she plays
Marguerite
There's
Gachet.
one person I wanted to call out. Oh yeah, Helen McCrory, who plays the like housemaid lady
for the Gachets.
Yeah, it's like because of the style, it was really some people were really hard to like see who they were, but some of them really stood out. Like
the big one that I wanted to get the shout out was Chris O'Dowd.
Yeah, like that. It was like him. I didn't know it was him until he started speaking, and then I really heard it. You know.
Yeah, it's like once you hear his voice, you're like, oh, and then it all comes together.
Yeah.
Because like Chris O'Dowd. Okay, so if you don't know who Chris O'Dowd grew to fame through the British television show IT Crowd, and then broke into like new American comedies and whatnot. And I never really thought of him to be kind of like a serious actor, but he's in so much stuff, and he has done a good amount of like. Kind of serious-ish, like dramatic roles. Like, it kind of just made me think, it's just like, he's had a really interesting career because generally when you see someone start off, especially in British comedy, they're sticking in comedy.
Yeah.
You know? But he's actually just a really good actor.
Yeah, no, he was actually one of my favorite performances in this movie.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it was very... And he just looked cool. Like, that
with
style with the big beard, with the squigglies and everything.
Yeah. All right, are we ready to? That's weird. I got like weird little bit of eczema happening. That's new. Yeah, I think we're ready to go into reviews, and we have a extra review as well. So when Tommy's done, what we decided to do is ask Dahveed to write a little bit of his own thoughts that we can share.
And we have not read it yet.
We have not read it, so it'll be fresh for all of us.
Yep, so I got my reviews open if you want to do the scores real quick.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the scores. So, yeah, 7.8 on IMDb, and then 8.4 on tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes, and an 87% popcorn meter as well. It's one of those movies that it's kind of under the radar, and it's very so many film festivals. It went through so many film festivals.
Did we even do the real all the release dates? No, we didn't do.
I did 2 of them. I did its original film festival one, and then the American release, the theatrical release.
Like I know that Ethan Hawke and everything talks about that interview where he was talking about box office really being kind of stupid. Like I'm very paraphrasing, very much that. But it's like even this had a budget of $5.5 million and it grossed 42. Mm-hmm. And when it's a situation like that, I'm like, good for you. Like, yeah, obviously this was a passion project, and you really took the time and energy to make something really beautiful. Like we have our opinions. Objectively, it's a really beautiful movie. Objectively, it took a lot of effort, and you made money from it. Yeah, which is nice. It
took you 6 years to get that money,
but hey, it was nice. It's nice that you made the money. So on Metacritic, this has a 62, which comes to generally favorable, with 15 positive, 5 mixed, and 1 negative. With an 88 at the Seattle Times by Moira McDonald. It was a pleasure to become happily lost in this unique film's world of color and line, and to see 2 filmmakers' mad dream come true. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I wrote down a couple different ones. 63 at Boston Globe by Ty Burr. The results are visually dazzling. The movie as a whole is something less.
Yeah. I think we're going to kind of all fall into the same thing.
With the first mixed with a 58 at Paste Magazine by Kenji Fujishima. As stimulating as it is, the animation ends up being more pictorial than expressive. An initially fancy but eventually rather monotonous way to dress up what's ultimately a mundane drag of a detective procedural.
Yeah, that's a fair... Well, that's
I thought it was just an interesting way to look at it. You're like, I guess this is a detective procedural.
I mean, it was...
I just didn't want to have thought of it that way because of it's not like he's a cop or anything. He's just a dude, who's like, I got this letter and I got to give it to someone.
But... I don't know. One of the things that kept me going was because of the art, because of the painting.
The weird thing for me though is it took my brain a minute to switch gears into being able to watch it. I was actually kind of getting dizzy for
really
a minute because everything's moving. And it was like that. They do this pan when you first meet Armand and he gets into that fight. Yeah. And the way that we came into that, I was like, whoa, kind of made me
sink or swim.
That kind of made me dizzy and kind of sick, like a little bit. Like I think that I don't know. I feel like if I had seen this in theaters, it would have been really rough.
Oh, fair.
At home, it was fine.
Weird motion sickness.
Yeah, like weird motion sickness. And then the one negative by Chuck Bowen, who gave it at Slant Magazine, who gave it a 38. DK and Welchman's film is driven by an off-putting and oxymoronic fusion of reverence and egotism.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. That's mean. I don't like that.
I do. I always like one negative in there.
Well, no, I mean mean as in like it's something that is like, oh, the ego they have to like do something like this. Like, no, they're doing a little love letter to fucking Vincent van Gogh in art form.
Yeah, but it's art, Any art is in the eye of the beholder or whatever, and it's like to this person, Chuck, it felt pretentious and full of ego, and it's like, well, that's art. People are gonna, I don't know. Andy Warhol got famous for painting soup
for
cans.
Being pretentious,
for being a nightmare, apparently.
Yeah. God. All right. Anything else?
No,
all right.
That was another one.
So this is from our good friend Dahveed Bullis out in Spokane, Washington. All right. So when my wife and I saw Loving Vincent at our local indie theater, Magic Lantern Theater, I knew almost nothing about it. When the opening message explained that every frame was created as an oil painting, I audibly gasped. Visually, it's one of the most unique films I've ever seen. The animation is breathtaking and truly a marvel. The story, however, is fairly simple. Is a fairly simple mystery following a man using Vincent van Gogh's death to avoid responsibility. Oh, interesting. For me, it lands at about 3 out of 5. Stunning to look at, but narratively, it didn't linger once the credits rolled. Very well said, Dahveed.
In fact, once the credits rolled, all I wanted to do was turn it off because that song playing was just
Awful. But then there was the cool like picture book happening
that was showing like.
Yeah, but once that was over, like, all right.
Okay, turn the shit off.
I think Dahveed hit it on the head, and almost all of our critics said the same thing as well. Yes, this movie is visually striking, visually, creatively amazing, in my opinion. The feat they were able to accomplish is impressive, beyond impressive. But however, there's no depth in this story. It is truly a man just wandering through a detective story, a man who just it happens to just start to uncover Vincent van Gogh's mysterious way of dying, and it just kind of became a vehicle to just kind of like educate us, like, this was the end of Vincent van Gogh's life, here we go.
Yeah.
There's no commentary on his art. There's no commentary on art itself, I feel. Maybe a little bit on artists' mental health. But even that's, I feel, kind of a stretch.
Well, it's also like, I don't know, like from everything I read about, I just did like a brief little dive into his whole life and stuff. What I find most interesting about Van Gogh is that he seemed really, really self-aware of his mental instability, which is very interesting for someone that is mentally unstable.
Yeah.
He was very aware and he was very concerned about it. And like that whole bit where they talk about he was scared of the future, that seemed to hit pretty on the head of what every account says on him. He was mentally unstable, but he was very self-aware and he was very worried about the future of his mental stability. And you're like, that's interesting. It's an interesting move.
It's interesting. I kind of wonder the way that he painted, truly how he saw the world, like perceived it.
Well, I wonder what, like, I don't mean this in a rude way, but I wonder what was wrong with him. Like what was like, and today's, and he's alive.
Some type of schizophrenia, some type of manic.
Well, yeah. What would his diagnosis be? I don't know. Just, it feels almost maybe like bipolar.
It sounds like like an extreme version of bipolar.
Yeah.
Like manic depressive.
Yeah. Manic depressive bipolar disorder. It kind of does feel like that. From just, again,
also with the fact that he couldn't hold down a job for anything.
Well, and then I was reading too, there's that whole controversy with this where those authors came and talked and they said, oh, this might have actually been a murder, which is kind of what this is turning into, because there is I guess the official cause of death is suicide, but there is this other camp that thinks that because of the way it happened, it sounds more like he got murdered by somebody and then was covering up because he didn't want them to get in trouble. And honestly, he probably was like, you know what? Maybe it's time for me to I kind of want to die anyways. So like whatever. And so, but it causes whole like controversy, but like a lot of people kind of, I guess in retrospect, looked at his works. And I did see that like in 2014 or something, a couple doctors were like, it feels like bipolar, just from his letters and just kind of as much as you can post-death diagnose someone with something.
Yeah. And especially like through just like letters as well.
Yeah. Because even then, the postman, the father, being like,
I heard from him 6
weeks ago
before his death.
And his whole thing too, being like, who would get suicidal in 6 weeks? And in my head, I'm like, it's a pretty long time, though.
Dude, I'm like, I'll get suicidal in 6 minutes.
Yeah. like 6 weeks? That's 2 months.
Like, I'll lay down in bed in a good mood and 6 minutes later be like, I'm ready to end this fucking shit.
I don't want to be on this planet anymore. But you know what I mean? So I thought that was kind of an interesting thing too. Like 6. Yeah. I'm like, let's say what it's basically 2 months. Yeah. Like a lot can happen.
But I mean, that's also the education of people at this time as well. This is what
1817.
Thank you.
I
Yeah,
think.
early 1800s.
Yeah, right. 1817.
Well, maybe early to mid to getting close to mid 1800s.
So he died in 1890.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so mid to late 1800s.
Yeah. Yeah, like the official cause of death, the self-inflicted gunshot wound to the chest.
Is it to the chest?
To the chest. And this is... Well, that was the other thing. And then later accounts would say, like, that's what I mean. That's the Zodiac killer.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's
Black
like
Dahlia thing. Where
a
like,
big thing is like how much of these of the documentation of Vincent van Gogh's incident is accurate, because I mean it sounds like it's like you were either in the camp for Van Gogh, or you were like, this guy's a fucking problem and we
needed to get him out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, really quick, it was very quickly brought over by Dr. Gachet, I want to say. I forget who it was. But his brother apparently had syphilis.
Like, yeah, late stage syphilis.
Yeah. What? That's what?
I mean, 18, whatever. That's pretty
I know,
common.
but it's just like how just casually that was brought up in a sense of like, oh, well, that because also he probably, I mean, when you have syphilis, your brain is rotting as well.
Yeah,
so
pretty late into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, late stages of syphilis.
Yeah.
So his brother dying, he probably was like, yeah, there's no reason for me to live anymore as well. Like for them to be surprised that his brother was gone and took his life. I was like, I mean, obviously these is still people that
Did he take his life?
That's what it sounded like.
I thought he just died from like a broken heart syndrome. That's what maybe I don't know. I'll look. You keep going.
Yeah, it was just kind of like how casually he's like, yeah, late stages of syphilis. I'm like, what, dude? But I mean, again, that's probably also at that time syphilis was, I mean, not common, but like people are like didn't really know as much about it. Like they were learning about syphilis at the time. Also, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure syphilis was created because of men fucking sheep. Like getting the bacteria from sheep on their shit. You're looking at Theo?
Yeah, so he listed as, it's called, dementia paralytica, which caused by hereditary chronic disease, overwork, and sadness. But that was caused by the syphilis.
Yeah.
So it's like double trouble.
I think also syphilis can be passed on from mother to child at birth. Or maybe that was just a rumor of the 1800s. Henrik Ibsen has a play that's about, someone losing their mind from syphilis called Ghosts.
Caligula. I've been wanting to watch that. I've never actually seen it.
I've seen scenes like the orgy scene.
Who's Caligula?
Malcolm.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
fuck yeah.
I've seen more than just that scene, but like it's.
Do you want to have a movie day and finally just sit down and watch it? Because I'm like, him being Caligula is
maybe
stroke of genius. That dude was a lunatic.
Yeah, and
he kind of feels like a lunatic.
Well, I mean, he was great in
Clockwork.
Yeah.
Gangster Number One.
Oh yeah,
he's like the old version.
Yeah. We kind of derailed there a little bit. So, yeah, it's like, I mean, I guess that's kind of the biggest thing. I don't know how much more else we have to say, unfortunately. As pretty as this movie was, its narrative really kind of falls short. But also I will say, as I did appreciate how they told the story of the detective, like the detective aspect of it, the mystery of it. I was invested enough where I wanted to see what Armand was going to keep discovering.
Yes, that, but I also feel like there was this sense that they wanted us to care a lot about Van Gogh and Vincent in general, and I just didn't find myself caring particularly. And I don't know. There's just this whole sense of the tortured artist, and people didn't understand him. And then, like you said, there's the other camp of he's crazy. He chopped off his ear.
Yeah. I mean, he was crazy.
He was mentally unstable. He was mentally unstable and very aware of it.
Take care of this for me.
Like I said, chopping off your ear is one thing. Giving it to someone is something entirely different. Yeah, I don't know. I found myself just not really invested in. And it's like, even then, Armand is this quick-tempered, like, I don't know. He was kind of drunk the entire movie.
He got more drunk as the movie went on. Yeah. Until finally he's like, no, I had enough wine last night. You're like, really? Are you sure?
Well, then it's like, I guess at the end too, we finally meet the doctor and we have the catharsis of finally finishing the story.
Well, we finally get everyone's perspective except for maybe Renee's.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting that he didn't go to like try to confront Renee as well. If he really thought that Renee was the man who did it, and maybe he was fearful for his own life. But it is also interesting to kind of point out Armand's spiral. The more he discovers about Van Gogh, it's almost like the more frustrated he gets, and that's why he's drinking more. Mm-hmm. Is he's spiraling out because he's like, how can nobody understand? How can nobody truly know what happened to this man? That so many people seem to say they cared about. My family seems to did care about. Like he's like, I can see his frustration just spiraling out. And it's interesting. I wanted to bring up Dahveed's note of following a man using Vincent van Gogh's death to avoid responsibility.
I personally didn't agree with that bit because he didn't even want to go do it. He was kind of doing it from like an obligation of his father. Yeah.
Because also he said that he bends metal. I'm trying to remember at the beginning. Like he's not a mail courier.
Yeah, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, you see, he said that he like works more with his hands or something, if I remember correctly. But we also get that notice while he's at the inn that he lost his job and he no longer has credit. So now he has to wait for his father to send him money.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, so his spiral essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So once we finally, and it's kind of like this big build up to finally his meeting with Dr. Gachet, because there is this kind of like mystery around like, well, what kind of person is Dr. Gachet, and then also the mystery of like what Van Gogh possibly had with Marguerite, I kept wondering to myself how much of these obviously I feel like the Armand version, like we're getting Armand doing the detective work. I don't think Armand, I'm not sure, I can't say. I don't think Armand went trying to deliver a letter like this and then did this whole like, Batman mystery work. But I am curious about what accounts that are documented that are somewhat maybe like, I don't want to say accurate, but in books about like Van Gogh hanging out with Marguerite, like being stuff like that, Well,
because they kind of like talked about like maybe because of his relationship with Marguerite that he was killed by the father because he's so and there's like, that's the thing, it's all these things, and that's kind of, I guess, the point. There's a lot of they said going on.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what causes his frustration, is he's just not getting a straight answer from anyone.
Yeah. And in general, because Vincent van Gogh's death has been questioned for years.
Yeah.
And I will say that this is a really interesting way to kind of like show every different like theory in one full narrative, you know. Like if you are ever curious about Vincent van Gogh, here is a fictional narrative that tells you each perspective possibility.
Yeah, like what could have happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So it's really, well done in that sense. But again, there is nothing being said about Van Gogh or his art or in general. It's that, I mean, I guess the art itself kind of speaks for itself. I mean, a lot of amazing transitional scenes that you can really only do with animation, and to see it done in oil painting was really fucking cool.
No, like visually, it's very,
Yeah.
it's very cool, but
Because everything just kind of seems to flow together. Like it's like on one canvas moving around.
yeah. I mean, yeah, like that's kind of all I had to say about it.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same.
Can't really think of anything else.
It's unfortunate. I mean, yeah, because it's just, I think that since there isn't really much else being said, there isn't really much else for us to say. And I think we're both tired.
What do you want to give it?
I am partial to Dahveed's 3 because of the animation style, and it's just very impressive that they were able to do that. They like what they were able to do. If it was just a very, if this, yeah, I'll agree with the 3 because of the oil painting aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if this, you take out that animation oil painting idea, I think this goes down to like 2. I think it would be very boring.
Well, I don't know if that would be the case, because then you have to think about if you took out the oil painting thing and we actually got to see the actors act a little bit more. That's a big factor.
Mm.
Because they were, I mean, pretty much, even though there may not be the biggest names, there's a lot of talent in this, and like there is something being gained and lost at the same time with the oil painting thing, because we're not seeing them. Yeah, we're seeing their movements, but it's hiding their facial expressions. And
I feel like they've got a decent amount of nuance with the oil painting, which I was very impressed with.
yeah, no, you're seeing a lot, but I don't know. I just think it might have been a tad bit different.
But a 3.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing lower than a 2.5.
Definitely a 3. Works for me.
All right. All right. Thank you, Dahveed,
Thank you, Dahveed.
for sending us in this review. And since next week's movie is Exhibiting Forgiveness, which we read the quick plot synopsis once, I could just tell you there's something about a painter. That's all I remember. Again, painting. So yeah, well, again, next week we'll have ask Dahveed to write us another short little review, kind of like what he did today. And then we'll go from there, and we'll figure out some other stuff. And if we might reach out to you to do some like reviews and stuff. And if you would be interested, just let us know about doing that little review as well, like what Dahveed's doing right now.
So funny enough, the connection came up with Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse.
So yep, cool. And Lupita Nyong'o, if you want to do that.
Saoirse. That's an O. There we go. Why is my phone auto-correcting so wrong?
Funny.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, join us next week. We'll be doing another one from our good friend Dahveed.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. On there's all of our promos where you can see where we're putting all of our stuff. Follow, send to your friends. We'd appreciate it.
And thank you, Dahveed, for the movie recommendations.
That was definitely a very interesting watch for sure.
I mean, Dahveed will always have an interesting
He's a
review for us.
Yes.
Or, that's recommendation. He enjoys those odd indie. And also, I mean, this was Lindsay recommended it for them to watch.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying as well.
Cool. Hello to Lindsay too. Yeah. So I guess that's everything, right?
Nah, that sounds right.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob. Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. I guess maybe there was more stuff. I don't know. You did the full outro, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. I think so.